just
I wasn't in that one.
peek, you just open the door and you're like, ooh. Felt like I was back at my old job.
We've actually been doing okay with our in some of the cities across the country. It's just exploding, and everyone's having the same issue. But what do you?
Yeah.
That's why like when you're sleeping under a bridge, it's actually better than what it could be.
Nice key, Rick. Hey, everybody.
But it did work?
It works in most of it, but when Ron's car wouldn't. And compared to his
Yeah,
key,
definitely.
his key's a lot fatter. This is just big.
Oh.
Yeah, this car.
Hi, Rebecca.
How are you doing?
Good, good.
How was the baseball game?
Yeah, it was good. Brewers lost. That was not good, but it was fun. Did you just steal that out of there? The bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, if I don't know you can give
No,
these, I wouldn't have
it
printed them
was-
off.
You put them in your mailbox.
Oh, I didn't check my
I thought it
mailbox.
would be a good idea for us to start sharing that information with you too.
Not just when we
Not
go to
just-
the bathroom.
yeah.
Not just.
But you might not be here for a long period of time.
That's right. That's right.
And the only way you can move on is if they have done something.
Who would we have to see to get keys to our room?
Information.
Guy in a peach,
7311.
salmon color, peach color.
The guy
Used to have 'em,
buys
and
the
they changed
duplexes
all
when
the
no one
locks.
was living there, right? It's
Yeah.
empty, right? He leases it out to, well, carnies, basically.
For 1 month for the run of the fair?
Well, I don't know for how long, but they, my brother comes home, there's 20 people out there. And his van comes, they'll crowd in the van, they leave, then they come back and everything, but just, I just said to him, just don't leave anything in your yard.
No, yeah.
Disappear, you know, and so,
7311 Lapham?
something like that, yeah, it's something, it's on the opposite side of the street, I mean, on the south side of the street. I thought it was 11 that he had said, but, next day there's 15 people all over the porch and all making all kind of noise, and they get off at late at night.
Yeah,
and
they're probably
everything.
drinking beer till dawn and then.
So if the fire department's missing this or that, they know where to go.
So it's not on the corner.
No,
It's on the fire department side.
right.
Mid block.
Yeah.
I'll go by.
And he was talking to he knows all about stuff because he was talking to the neighbor.
Yeah.
The neighbor lady that knew the guy that bought it.
Yeah.
He's gonna flip it. But
Oh,
he
yeah.
figured just,
There's a bunch of that going
get some
on.
money running out here, so. Yeah, the price of duplexes are going back up.
You saw that letter from the realtors. They want us building fewer apartments.
Yeah,
Well, first of
because
all-
they don't get a commission on apartments.
That can't be it.
I can
How
see
could
that and read
how-
that.
So you mean it's not about what's best for the city?
Well, but the thing is, the thing about it is that it doesn't take a rocket scientist. We've asked this question ourselves. They're building these things everywhere.
Yeah.
Not just here,
Right.
everywhere.
I don't think the younger
and then
generation
because of-
wants to keep up with
I
it.
think I'm the only one who wore
And then
shorts
because
today.
of,
No, I'm the reason they make long pants.
because of what happened on 84th
But
Street.
yeah, they and
That
then
you see that the
they're
banks
building.
are
They
starting
think
to
the
think the
market's
same
gonna
thing.
hold.
Yeah.
Because it's harder and harder, people
Yeah,
get loans.
financing's tougher.
And so,
Good day, sir. Got a haircut.
They're
yep,
everywhere.
yep.
You know,
Uh,
go to Sheboygan,
I
go to
guess it's an
Verona,
okay day.
go to.
Hey, did you see
too much
tomorrow?
city stuff. Yeah,
Got, I'm double booked.
yeah, okay.
And they're all that
6:20 for
They're all
advisory and 6 o'clock for license.
Somebody
Look like they must have saw the writing on the wall. I see they
that
applied for it.
Oh, that's
They
the
did.
underlying.
Underlying.
Yeah, that's right. They're doing
Why are they building all these
That
green
cooler got
buildings?
big.
Yeah, so but then, but
Yeah, they're not done with that.
No.
probably we're gonna probably pass Tracy's.
So our
ordinance,
fire department has a
you
ton
know,
of units
because we
at
got
the
Quick
fair
Trip
now that they're
coming
taking over
to,
for Bell Ambulance.
and they gotta go
and getting
forward
paid
thing,
by
but
the fair, because I went and checked it out.
Yeah.
I went into the
yeah.
former
Raymond
Bell
Brown has our
Ambulance
liquor
space,
ban.
which is now our space, and we're like up to
Well,
mid
our
68
Trips in Illinois.
currently.
What, are we renting a couple from somebody or
Yeah,
what?
borrowing from New Berlin. Yeah, the cart.
now we're here.
Those
Yeah, those small
carts
carts.
from
we
Yes.
put underneath, we're gonna put
Long
underneath
skinny
the
microphone.
strategy, director can handle that job.
You get out. All right, at 6 o'clock, call the Administration and Finance Committee meeting to order. All 5 members are present, and can I have a motion to approve the minutes as listed in our agenda?
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item D, new and previous matters. Going on to item 2, reclassification of HR director position, reorganization, filling the position as assistant city administrator, talent and strategy director. Ms. Grill.
Before I start outlining things, I just wanted to do 2 corrections of the memo that was attached to the file. The first is in the first paragraph after the number 3, it says restricting, it should be adjusting. And then in the last full paragraph, the salary grade is actually an R, not an S. So just wanted to make that clear. So thank you to everyone on the committee who took the time to talk to me about these 3 items are kind of together because of the different overlapping. Just want to give a little bit of background on where this request is coming from. As you remember earlier this year, we recruited for a HR director position, and we went through the whole process. And as we were getting ready to finalize the contract, the person let us know that they would be remaining with their employer due to additional compensation that was given to them. After that, we had the health commissioner position open, so we went to focus on hiring that position, and we had Michelle come in as an interim HR director. During that time, I was encouraged by a few of the executive leadership team, our department head, to look at ways perhaps that I could get assistance to help me accomplish all of the items that I've been asked to do. And as we ask with all of our employees when we have positions open, is there a way that we could fill this in a different manner that would meet the needs of the organization? So one of the ideas was, because the HR director position was open, perhaps looking into creating the assistant city administrator / HR director. And that's the position that I am requesting today. It was classified by Carlson Detman Consulting. I had the opportunity to discuss with a few of the department heads who had some concerns regarding the structure. We were able to talk through those, as also I talked with the human resources staff member that also had concerns and worked through those. So as you know, over 80% of our budget has to do with salary and benefits for employees. So that's one of the most important things that we need to deal with. So having this person work in the admin office further aligns the strategies and working towards getting the most qualified and keeping the most qualified employees here. The challenges we may have with having this person be the HR director and assistant city administrator, that they'll have additional duties. We've implemented a lot of digitized processes in the HR department, such as our performance reviews. Those are being done electronically. Our our recruiting process is being done electronically. We're working on doing the onboarding in an electronic manner. So those are some of the examples. We also do our benefit enrollment online now. Before it was done with a paper process. We were stapling and making copies and mailing out those things. In the packet also has an org chart that outlines the proposed structure, and then the job description. So, I don't know if anyone has any questions, or you want me to go into any other area in more detail.
Alderman May.
Just have a simple question. May 1st, the city attorney will no longer be an elected position. Where do you see that position lying within the city structure with the new assistant city administrator position?
I would believe that I would ask for that to still be directly reporting to
To
me.
the city administrator.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman Shaplowski.
strategy director, can you explain that?
Well, a lot of what I do is trying to get the strategic plan move forward, and so to recruit the right type of person, I felt like just having HR, assistant city administrator / HR director wouldn't really get the full breadth of possible applicants. I know it sounds, some people might think it's kind of weird, talent and strategy, but it has to do with employees, but it also has to do with implementing I think the 37 strategic actions of our strategic plan that we're supposed to be accomplishing. We're halfway done in the next few years, so that's why that word is in there.
Okay, and we have problem hiring anybody, trying to recruit anybody, and we're having problems with HR trying to recruit somebody, and now all of a sudden, you have these two new titles, it's just gonna make it harder to recruit somebody. I mean, somebody's gonna have a little bit more ability to do these things than just HR, correct?
It could make it more difficult, but I actually think it will open it up to more candidates who have a broad breadth of experience. In municipalities, there's a lot of people that have that kind of experience. I would be looking for somebody that has more of a higher level department head, working with personnel, but also working with ordinances, cooperating with other departments, collaboration and things like that. So I hope that that's not the case. I don't know in this job market, since we have the lowest unemployment since 1969. I don't know what to say, what's gonna happen. I am aware of several people that are interested in the position, so I'd hope that there'll be more people that might be interested.
And how much more is this costing us again?
The minimum, the difference between the minimum starting is,
Well, just the human resource compared to
Right.
additional head or not?
12,500, so about a little more than $1,000 a month.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
Yeah, I'd like to echo Alderman Chaplowski's concerns. HR is kind of a specialized field, from my understanding. So you're looking for somebody, and I think you have this scoped out as like 40% HR work. I understand you can't just hire a part-time HR director, I get that. But if we're looking for somebody with the skills and ability and background, and hopefully they're coming from a county, city, state background, and then to have all this whole other set of skills, I just hope we're not setting ourselves up for a long recruitment process. I guess that would be my concern on this, on the position in general. I'm also a little concerned about the org chart the way it is. The position is labeled assistant city administrator, kind of half, right? So it's really not your assistant.
Correct.
Right, but it kind of sounds like that, I guess. It's not the assistant to the city administrator.
Right,
Get
that's
that.
what it would be
Yeah.
if it wasn't assistant to me.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
not
it
your
would be.
assistant we're hiring.
Assistant to the regional manager.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing going through my head.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chair,
yeah.
with the recruiting, if we're having challenges with recruiting, I would
We can come
come
back
back
and,
and ask you to do something differently. And this is one of the things that I'm constantly asking employees to do with position, so
Mhm.
that's, I'm gonna take a little chance on that. we can probably get this out pretty quickly, and hopefully we'll know better in the beginning of September how that comes.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
is there a seasonality to recruiting? Is it back to school a good time? Is it,
Well, around the beginning of the year, that's a good time because people want a fresh start.
Open enrollment.
oh, they wake up on New Year's Day, oh, I need to change my life.
Yes. And then 21 days later, they go back to their.
One from a healthcare standpoint, if you've already met your deductible at this time of year, why would
Yeah.
you switch jobs and get a whole new deductible?
Yeah, Alderman Rowe.
And I don't know the person's name, but that part-time person in, HR is,
Michelle?
I don't even, thank you, I don't even know her name. Is she still gonna stay with us, or how does she fit in?
Once that person would start, maybe I would ask for like a 2-week overlap, but there wouldn't be, no, this person would replace her. We still have access to if there's any questions or anything like that.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Alderman Shublsky.
Now, we got a city administrator took duties away from the mayor. And so, I don't know what duties you need someone else to actually do, but couldn't the mayor pick up some of those duties?
I don't wanna necessarily speak for the mayor, but there's a lot of, different things that we both deal with. He's dealing a lot with the constituents that are coming in and a lot about development. I think we could work a little bit more on retention of businesses and more recruiting of businesses, but I don't know if you.
Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, but I think right now where things are is what I would almost call, I think it's called a Venn diagram, where Rebecca's working on a lot of the internal structure and I'm working on a lot of the external structure, and there is that area in the middle that we both work on. I mean, just because an employee is directly underneath Rebecca does not mean that I'm not working with her on things I would also like to see out of those department or division heads. So, I mean, with the neighborhood associations plus, just because I'm not doing 8 performance reviews does not mean that people aren't calling with complaints about state fair or snow plowing or business issues or all the other things that I know we all hear come up. So.
Alderman Lysick.
I think one of the things Rebecca pointed out was word strategy in the description, and I think that's a key role for this person. We're looking at reviewing processes in a number of departments, and you need a team leader to do that. Someone that's familiar with processes and leading a group of employees from various departments and getting them to focus on something. And I know Rebecca's done some of that. We've hired outside help to do some of it. I think that's something that can be done internally, and I think this person would be the ideal person to be picking up some of those process improvement teams and leading those and helping us speed that along.
Alderman Shublsky.
So this person is going to not be really assisting you, but you're just gonna give her certain duties to do that you do now, or how does that work? How do you?
Well, I think it's gonna ultimately depend on who the person is that we would hire, what their strengths are versus what my strengths are, but, I see it more, they'll be doing some of the things that I probably am not getting to now. Like, Alderman Lysick was referring to a lot of the process improvement, there's a lot of streamlining efforts, there's initiatives to, reduce costs. Right now, we're gonna be embarking on a printer consolidation, which is gonna be somewhat, tenuous with some people because they don't wanna give up their printers because they wanna make envelopes on printers instead of using window on envelopes. There's things that can get really into detail, but, need to, if we wanna save $50,000 and not have 3 printers or 1 printer for every 4 to 5 people, I mean, those are the that's just one example. But it'd obviously be covering the HR portions, and then I'd still be doing the things that I'm doing, but also help. I'm not usually able to get to library board meetings, and sometimes I'm not able to get to the CDA, that kind of thing, just going to different meetings too.
So we put the label on as Assistant City Administrator, Orlean, that may not be exactly yet what she's doing. I mean, I don't know how we come up with the name, because she's gonna be doing some of your work, but when you put an assistant, that person is like in charge when you're not around. That's the way I think of an assistant, and this person would be in charge if you're not around.
That would be my hope, because I don't feel as if when I'm on vacation, that I can be on vacation. No, I'm, just ask anyone.
No. I understand. It was just the way you say it.
Maybe that's my personality too, but.
Nobody's on vacation.
It was just the way you said it, that's all. So, okay.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
So in this recruiting process, we're gonna have, you have a vision on minimum education requirements? Were those all laid out in there?
Yeah, they're in the section.
Thought I read that.
Okay, section six, it talks about, a bachelor's degree is required, but I prefer a master's degree in public admin, local government, or human resource management. And then it talks about the different levels of experience, 5 years of customer service experience, supervisory, 10 years working in a municipality of a similar size, in a similar role, working with elected officials, working with teams, continuous improvement, budgeting, research and program development, and then there's some other like certifications. There's a certified public manager that people could get. The NIMS training, that's what we all get. Lean or Six Sigma. So those are all outlined there.
Any further discussion? Yeah, it sounds to me like this is the way to go, that we're a big operation. We have 500 some employees, 60,000 customers. It certainly is reasonable that to implement the strategy, to have some consistency in the role in HR, and have an additional resource assisting the city administrator. This is the way to go. And yeah, the extra compensation, well, that's what's going to attract more candidates, which we've had trouble attracting candidates in the past.
Move approval.
We have a motion from Alderman May. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman Weigel. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, and then item 3, ordinance to amend the City of West Allis salary schedule due to 2019 adopted budget action, and going on there. Ms. Grill, you're on the hot seat again.
Mr. Chair, you have an amendment before you, adding another position to that. I'll go through an outline, unless you wanna.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You lead, go ahead.
Order we do it, okay, so the first thing in this, is to, give a 2% increase for all non-represented employees. As you know, the police department got 3.25% this year. The fire department, I believe, had 2%. A lot of our comps are receiving, last year they received a 2%. This year there's a 2%. I'm not sure about what 2020. We are currently going through the market study, so this would hopefully mitigate a real big jump with our salary schedule, but we still might have to make some adjustments for the trade positions or engineers and nursing positions, cause the market might, and I don't know, what else, but, likely there'll be some additional tweaks that we need to do, but hopefully the 2% would, address that. We did budget for over 1% with the, request, I think that's in the resolution to move, some of the money from the, fire department and from Public Works. We will be able to handle that increase. It would be, the way it's written is it would be effective on July 28th, so if the council would approve it tomorrow, then it would be on the paychecks on August 16th. So that's the first part of this. Should I keep going or does, okay. The second
Sure,
is.
like Marty said, yes.
Okay.
Deputy.
No,
I thought
yeah,
you
that's
weren't-
good.
I'm sorry, I thought you weren't here.
Very good.
Taking over.
Yes.
The second is a plumber position. We're going to be recruiting for a plumber position, and in order to not have to redo the recruitment after the market study came up, we asked Carlson Detman to do that in advance, and the recommendation is to go to the salary grade I. Then there's some amendments for the commercial building inspectors and residential building inspectors. They're all gonna be hired now as commercial or residential inspectors. I think Ed's here if you have a question about that. And last thing would be based on your previous for decision for item or recommendation for item number 2, adding the assistant city administrator at R, but then we're also, the amendment includes a public safety IT supervisor, and that would be at a salary grade K. That's not adding a new position, that's just reclassifying an existing position. I believe, Tony had shared information with you regarding that position.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Root.
I have a question for somebody in the audience. Dave Webking. We seem to go through a lot of plumbers, or the one, and you're chuckling, because what is going on down there? Because the one guy quit, then he came back, then he wanted more money, and then he left again. What's happening with the plumbers down there?
The plumber that was previously here, he took on another inspecting job with the state of Wisconsin. So what we did is we transferred the duties, so that plumber was doing internal work, work within the city facilities. We reevaluated that and we moved or transferred that position into the water utility, where he would begin inspecting, assisting bins with the cross connection, DNR audit, and also with all the lead connections with the program in conjunction with the engineering division. As well as when needed, that person would also be assisting with internal work. But we just thought the demand, just
Maybe I don't know
wasn't
what
there.
internal work means.
Well, if there's a leak in the restroom or what have you.
Oh,
in the
okay,
city
I'm thinking
facility.
like, ordering parts and paperwork and things like that, internal, okay, I got it wrong,
Yeah,
okay.
So internal.
So you just need one master plumber, and then the rest can just be like plumber laborers?
We just have one master plumber, that's our wish list.
Right, that's the one where-
Right, yep. And
Okay.
then at that time, we're using maintenance repairs, so people that are already there to assist and help the plumbers. So they're already performing.
Right.
If there's clogged sinks, toilets, that sort of thing, the basic labor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel.
and, I guess I was under the impression that the building inspector and electrical inspector maybe had different training and different knowledge, but we're essentially deleting that as separate jobs, and so we're just gonna be hiring people either doing commercial or residential. Is that what it is? Did I understand that?
Yeah, and Mr. Chair, if I could,
Sure, please.
and that kind of came in, when Carlson Devon did our first go around here, so we've actually had that in there for a little while. It was just a little bit confusing the way it was titled. Mostly because right now we require everybody to have, all the residential certifications, so plumbing, electric, and building and HVAC, so that, one inspector can go in.
So they are all one person, it is
Yeah,
all
so
just one person.
They'll each have their own kind of specialty where, especially on the commercial side of it, so they do kind of differentiate themselves that way. But essentially, they're all state certified commercially in one way and then residentially always. So they're all kind of in that same grouping. We had, two of my people didn't have all the certifications and stuff, so that's why we kind of held on to that building and electrical inspector positions for a while. One of them has since gotten all their certifications, the other one doesn't work for the city anymore, so we can eliminate those and just everybody kind of falls into one of those two categories now. So.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion on this? Questions, concerns?
Just need to
Yeah.
accept the amendment.
Yeah, so how do we want to handle this?
Approval as amended.
There we go, that's the best way.
This is
Thank
item
you,
number
Alderman.
3 now, the ordinance.
This is item number 3, correct.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And then moving on to item number 4, resolution to approve the implementation of the 2% pay increase for non-represented city employees.
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman Weigel,
Second.
second from Alderman May. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Please.
might I just interrupt? I believe under number 2, I had it listed as is under consideration at the July 16th common council meeting. Perhaps you might want to update that. I guess it was under consideration. Didn't take action. but-
Taking action
So
in late August.
either, or change it to August 6th, 2019.
Sure, so we have a motion
That's
and a
friendly
second,
amendment, that's
and then so we'll accept an amendment to, as identified by Ms. Grill. And so on the amendment, can I have a motion for approval of the amendment?
Move approval on the amendment.
All right. And
Second.
a second on the amendment, okay. And now on the whole kaboom, on the whole thing. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, very good. Anything else properly before the committee?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
In a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned.